Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Tier 2 at France for CDR. I'm CDR Ninja, joined by Mechanical as always, and it looks to be a dry qualifying. As we've got a couple of cars out on track already. Looks to be El Jobbo who is pipped out first. I know comms was a little bit late coming out. No, it is Colby who is out first at France. But welcome all. As we just wait for those who are coming out nice and early to get round as we follow Colby, who is off track and now has... Wait, is it Colby or is it El Jobbo out first? It is El Jobbo who is the first car ready to go. I need to turn down my volume on my phone. Hired J-Doy and Cammy says probably be rain at some point in quali. That's what the forecast is saying at least. Right, thank you very much for that info, Cammy. As we just follow El Job around turn 11. I believe it's turn 11. It's either 11 or 12. I know that much. But yeah, welcome to France. Every season so far we have had France, as we are in the third season, as we've only got 5 cars in the pits. Everyone getting out nice and early as El Jobbo crosses the line ready for his first hot lap. Into turn 1 we go, and in turn 2 then into 3 with El Jobbo. And it's a 22.3 in the first sector for El Jobbo for his first lap. A lot of people out on hot laps at the moment. Collins just had to pop out for a second as we come up to the Le Mans chicane with El Jobbo. Very smooth through the Le Mans chicane, and it's a 50 flat for El Jobbo.
Right, I am back. I do apologise about wandering off there just as we were about to go live, Dan. I had to sort it out.
Colin, could you possibly turn down your mic a little bit more?
Yes, I can. Apologies, it's a new mic and it will just need a little bit of tweaking before we're quite there with doing it. Right, is that a little bit better? I've just knocked it down another notch.
No.
Okay, we'll try again.
And El Jobbo passes the DRS line on the DRS straight, and it's a 30.5 to kick us all off.
Nice.
Followed by Colby with a 30.9. Scotty 15 with a 31.2. No, it's still clipping a little bit. And I'll pop off with...
For the love of God.
Tom Taylor, who is a reserve for tonight.
Right, I've gone down a couple more. Is that better?
A little bit, yeah. It'll do.
It'll do.
It'll do.
Enough for me.
As we follow Tom Taylor
it's a new microphone.
through the last couple of corners.
Right, I shall keep my eye on the
And we're just on board with him as he crosses the DRS line. A Sky pops into provisional pole, followed by Tom Taylor. A 10th separates Tom and Sky at the moment. And we'll go on.
Half, but that's still fairly close.
we'll go on with J-Doy, who is invalidated. So we'll go on with Mercedes counterpart.
He says yo-yo in the comments. We've had Cammy say probably be rain at some point in quali. That's what forecast is saying at least.
Oh, I've already gone through.
Wet. Yeah, I was going to say, and then Osso's just said evening, lads, and one of the Ozones just asked when will Osso be joining this tier. Well, definitely not this season, because this season he's my teammate. You ain't taking my teammate away.
That is to be revealed eventually, shall we say, as Cammy just comes up to the last couple of corners.
Right, let me stop drinking beer and actually get on with paying attention to people that are on laps.
Naughty, naughty, Colin. Naughty, naughty. As Cammy pops...
just popped in with a 30.569.
And Cammy pops in with a 39.67.
Nice.
And I'm just going to go on with Gainful, who is coming through the last couple of corners.
I was just wondering where Kieran had got to. Tom's actually replaced Kieran for the night. That's why I can't find Kieran. I was wondering if he was still in the pits, like he usually is. So I'm actually on board with J-Doy. I'm just trying to see if he actually sets the lap. His fuel lights flashing,
Gainful sets a 1:31.3. I'm going to pop on with Armin, who's just coming through the Le Mans chicanes. We've got a couple of comments coming through.
Yeah, we've had Ruben says poll tomorrow for Otto. It won't be tomorrow, it'll be Sunday. Aiden says what's happened to my mic.
Yeah, you may need to turn it down a little bit. Yeah.
It's almost as low as it can go, but I can turn it down a little more. Not a problem.
As we follow Armin through 10:13. Yeah, no. Take it away from your mouth a little bit, maybe.
Yep, maybe I'll try that. Is that better?
A little bit. It's still clipping a little bit.
How about that?
Yeah, miles better. You can turn it up a little bit more now. As Armin just comes
completely away from my face, that works.
Armin sets a 1:31.1. As we got another reservist of Biggle, who is going into the pits. And we'll follow Sociopath to the line, who sets a 1:47.7, 17 seconds off of his personal best as of yet.
We've had a couple more comments, which was Ruben saying good luck guys, and also says yeah Ruben, let's go, and not tomorrow by the way, it's Sunday, which I'd already confirmed anyway. And does my mic sound a little bit better now? Obviously I've moved it away from my face and I've turned it back up a little bit as well. Great stuff. Like I said, it's a new microphone, I'm just about getting used to it, so I do apologise with the issues early on this stream. I'm usually not such a problem with my mic, except for when I'm with Teabag. Usually it goes wrong when I'm with Teabag. So I'm on board with Aiden for his outlap, which is invalidated.
And I'll pop on with J-Doy, who is invalidated.
Well,
what about Armin? Armin's just coming through turn 11.
Yeah, he's just behind Aiden. I can see his marker on the map. He's also got one of the Alpha Towers behind him as well. And I'm assuming that Cameron Pulse are ahead of him. I think it's a Red Bull. It is a Red Bull. So I'm just going to stay on and see what kind of times we're looking at. You had any indication of what sort of Sector 1 times we'll be looking at, so I can gauge the sort of Sector 1 time that Aiden's on for here?
I'm not too sure, if I'm honest.
Okay, well I'll just see if he manages purple. If he doesn't manage purple, he's not done very well. We'll just take it at face value. There he gets on. So he's just coming to the end of Sector 1 now. And that's 23.
I'm going to pop on with Cameron Poulter, who's done a 22.4.
Great.
22.4 is what Cameron...
23.1 is the difference. So 6/10 difference between Cameron and Aiden just in the first sector. That's a lot. That's crazy a lot, actually. But then again, you can make or break that in the first couple of turns. Cameron's backed out of his lap. Aiden just flew past him. He may have invalidated.
No, he's not invalidated. So well, I'll just pop on. Let's carry on with Aiden. Currently on board with him.
Yep. I missed this sector 2 time as well. Ooh, gets a little close, running too much curb there and has to turn away from it again. That'll cost him a little bit of time as well, having to readjust his input for his wheel.
As we're just coming through the last corner now, and he's very close to invalidating.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm surprised he didn't invalidate. That was very, very tight across there. You really don't want to be on that much curb either, but that is a 32.4. That was an awful lap. That is the slowest, apart from Cameron, who's come in with a 38.4. So that was a terrible lap from both, as he invalidates on the extra turn 2, which is a hot zone for invalidations at this track. An absolute nightmare if you get through off of turn 2.
As I'm
wide on the exit.
Currently on board with Colby as Tom Taylor's invalid. He's...
Someone just retired? Yeah, Tom Taylor's just retired.
Yeah.
To be fair, with that time, I think he's through, so I'm not surprised he's retired. But I'm just
as Colby's just
lost it in, I think that's turn 12.
Yeah. As we're just following Colby through the Le Mans chicane.
But Clay is on his outlap, so it's not a drastic thing. He just, oh, that was really deep into the last turn. That won't have helped.
As Colby's just coming through turn 10 or 11. The right-hander after.
Turn 10 is the fast right-hander, and then turn 11 is the one you have to slow down for.
As Colby's just coming to turn. Yeah, that's where Colby is currently.
Well, like I said, that's where Clay span out, he binned it on his outlap.
As Colby's just coming through the last corner, doesn't take any curb. And he is currently on 8% ERS. And it's a 30.6, which puts him into 7th.
Well,
as Bagel gets 5/10 out of his time, picks up P15 with a 31.4. As Clay's now on a lap.
But I would say people like Scott, Gainful, Big Lou, they need to go again, because those times aren't going to be, you know, it's some of these guys below them. For example, Clay, Cameron, Aiden, we expect all 3 of them to do a lot better. Mason's not been out yet, and he's normally quite fast. So I would say that those guys that are hovering around P13, 14, 15, and J-Doy again, he'll have to go because he's in the drop zone, but they all need to set better laps.
Yeah.
Because they're at risk.
Very much so.
Boy and Almond, who are teammates, and only got 1,000th of a second between them.
As Clay's just coming across the line, it's a 30.7, which puts him into P8.
Yeah, 30.7. See, that point, that was a good time.
Cammy is in J-Doy's toe, set to 30.5, puts him P3. As I'm on now with Jack Slater, who's coming up to turn 13.
And he's crept back up to P15, which is now not Gainful out. But Gainful is on an improved lap time.
I'm not sure about Jack Slater, as he's just coming through the penultimate corner. He's going into the pits.
Do you know what? It's actually quite nice to see both Williams inside the top 10. Because normally one or the other will struggle to get out of Q1, so it's quite nice to see, you know, both Williams out there in the top 10. It shows the work's been put in to be matching the other guys' times. So Gainful's just coming around the last turn now, and he's going to activate his DRS. And we'll see what time he's on.
As J-Doy's invalidated, so therefore I'm going to go on with Gainful and it's 30.9.
So that's got him up to P11, which has now put Scott at risk because he is P15. And as I said, there is 1,000 between Almond and Matey Boy, so theoretically we could be looking at both of them being at risk now. Because as I said, Aiden, Cameron and Mason have all got to set laps, and those guys are fast. So I'm trying to find out what the sector 1 time is for Mason.
As Cammy goes into the pits and May spins on a lap as he's going through.
I'm on board with him. 22.4 for sector 1 and goes purple, which just proves my point about how fast these guys at the bottom of the table currently are. As I think Rhinosaurus has just crept up into the top 10 there on the lap.
As I'm on board with Mace as he comes through the Le Mans chicane.
Yeah, he takes a lot of that curve on the entrance, but you can actually violate that curve. As Cammy's retired from the session, and that looks to be in the pits that he hasn't got down the order, so he obviously thinks he's safe too. Nicky said, "Go on, Colin, you deserve a beer." And J-Doy says, "Literally, despite France." So obviously, J-Doy's not having much look at France here.
Oh no, not at all.
And to be honest, I normally wouldn't crack open a beer for comms. This is actually the first time I've done it, and I think it's a great idea. I might have to start doing it more often. I'm not on the cold
As
though. I'm on the Colin instead.
Naisbin sets a 30.1.
I did say that those guys at the bottom of the table are fast. So on board with Cameron now, and he was about 3 seconds up on his time, and Aiden's just coming out of the last corner, but he hasn't shown me what his Sector 2 time was. Huntsman's also retired, so he obviously thinks he's safe too, as Aiden goes at 30.5, which is good enough for P8 and just beats his teammate. And where has he gone? Cameron's crept up to P12.
Yeah.
So
just behind Rhinosaurus, who is just about coming to line and is invalidated, but you know what?
We're going to lose Scott because Scott has returned to the pit off an invalidated lap.
Ooh.
So he may not have had enough fuel. And as it stands, although Arman has improved, he hasn't improved enough. He needs to find another, just over half a tenth.
As I'm just on board with Ronan, who sets a 22.5 in the first sector. I don't know how he didn't invalidate it.
That are in the drop zone at the minute. So J-Doy is on an out lap, and he's got 40 seconds, so he's got an absolute acre of time to get around the last two corners. Oh, that won't have helped him. He needs to get around this last turn well. No, he's gone wide, so that will compromise his straight line speed for the start. And I think he might have Williams behind him.
And it's a 52.2, and Rhinosaurus is dropped out of his lap.
Not gone well.
And Arman is 7. No, it is Matey Boy who is 7/10 up.
So J-Doy is out. He's just lost it on the exit of turn 2 and completely span it around. So Big Lou is gone. J-Doy's gone. Scotty's gone. Matey and Arman are on laps. Arman's just coming around turn 11, and Matey's just come out turn 12, so they're one ahead of the other here. Let's see how their laps go, because they need to improve.
And Arman is just coming through the last corner, hits the DRS.
That's Matey.
It's still a Haas driver. It's P3.
And
right.
Arman goes
P17
and doesn't improve 16,000 slower actually. So that is 1 in, 1 out. So we've lost Arman now as well, and we've also lost Gainful because he's on an invalidated lap. So that is the guys that we will lose in Q1.
Right, I'll be back now. I just need to pop to the toilet.
Okay, mate. So Cammy popped in the comments saying, "I hate it here. Tyres get absolutely destroyed. You get one good run on soft and then they're dead." Some tracks are just like that, unfortunately, Cammy. It really does just, like, some tracks just destroy tyres, and this is an absolute tyre eater, this place. So but on the plus side, you are through in P5, so you can't complain that much. So who are we waiting for? We're waiting for Aiden, who's just coming around the last turn now. So then we shall move on to Q2. But we will be losing Gainful, Arman, Scotty, J-Doy, and Big Lou. And Cameron, I hate this track so much. Well, a lot of people do. I actually don't mind it. I'm not as fast around here as I am around other circuits. Like, I just can't seem to match the rest of the guys in Tier 3, where I can match them in most other circuits. But I enjoy the track. It's not one I don't like. I don't know why everyone else don't like. But I mean, on the plus side, Cameron, you're through, so you can't complain too much. Although, if it looks as bad in Q2 as it did in Q1, you're probably looking at going out in Q2, so all the best to you on that one. And that's my phone now. Really? You bugged me for the weather. Go away. Stupid phone.
Okie dokie, into Q2 we go.
And that's wet.
And it's wet. Oh.
Well, we did know there was going to be rain during qualifying.
Yeah, but I didn't think it would be this soon.
Gameful says my volume's very low. But you're saying it's okay. Do I need to turn it up a little?
Maybe.
I'm more concentrated on the guys on the stream rather than you. So I shall adjust it up a couple of notches. I'll go 3. Is that better for you, Gameful? I've turned it up a few notches. I had to... More beer. It's that time. Yet not ninjas. I'm on about mine. Is mine okay now? I've turned it up a little bit for you.
As Sociopath is the first out.
Well, do you know what? That's good. It's nice to see the Williams going, right, it's wet, let's go. I did that last week and look what happened. Eat some stick, that wet weather. Actually, I think Sunday was the first time I've not crashed out in the rain, so go me.
I'd rather not. I'd rather not talk about last week.
Yeah, well, let's face it. I screwed Imola up in the rain, so it was about time I had a good run in the rain. Oh, that was horrendous. That was the worst race I've ever done in my life. I got a good result, but it was just horrible from start to finish. I was bored by lap 7 because it was entirely made up of safety cars. I considered going in the pits and retiring because I was so bored of safety cars. Because I really did feel ill.
I'm on about last week in Tier 3.
Yeah, that's what I'm on about.
Sociopath crosses the line.
Different people had told me, like, because I sounded really ill as well. I was in a lot of pain, and a few people, as he also invalidates, a few people had said to me, like, you know, if you're not well, like, you don't sound it, like, don't race. But I did, and I was bored for the start of it. But as I said, I didn't crash out, so it was an improvement. I think I'm actually quite looking forward to the rest of the season. I'm just not looking forward to 2 particular races, which is Baku and Suzuka. I don't like either of those circuits. Like the horrible things.
As I missed Sky's sector one time, right. As Sociopath invalidated.
My mic is better, but Gameful says if yours was a 10, mine would be about a 6. So, but to be honest, it's a cheap microphone. You know, I just picked it up because my old one was dying.
And it's a 56.4 for Sky in the first sector.
I'm actually on board with Sky, but if you're going to take Sky, then I'll jump on board with Kulpi, who is following, and was a 56.275. So I don't think there's a lot between these two in terms of time here. The thing is, what kind of adjustments are these guys made now? Because if they knew rain was coming, and they was out on dry setup, how much of a change have they made to those dry setups to compromise for this rain now? And
if someone could let us know what the race is like.
Yeah, that would be nice to know what the race is like, actually. Because we only know that there was going to be rain in quali. I mean, me for Sunday, all I did was turn down my on-throttle diff and whack my front wing right up. I think I was running like 710
As
in the
Colby set a 41.2. As J-Dye says, race is dry, I believe.
Good, that's great stuff. At least we won't have a mess like Sunday then. And
so far, Tom Taylor's taken P1 with a 40.8. Schnitzy a 41.199. Colby set a 41.291. Warrior Huntsman takes a 41.411. Sky takes a 41.566. Jack Slater takes a 42.599. Matey Boy takes a 42.630. As we got more times coming in and I'm lost.
Well, I was just on board with Huntsman, who completely binned it out of turn 2 and was doing pirouettes in the middle of the track. There wasn't a whole lot he could do about it. His car was just out of control. He was a passenger.
As I'm going to come on with Cammy, who's just about across the line. It's a 41.1, which is supposed to make it P4. No, so now I'm going to go on with Clay, who's just coming through the Le Mans chicane.
Who's just come out of turn 12, going around 13, 14. I think it's 13, 14.
And it's a 46.4 for Clay in the second sector.
Come on, get your boot down. That did not want to get his boot down, that car. And that is...
Sociopath of 40.7.
40.789. Okay, I don't quite know where he got that from. I wasn't quite expecting fastest lap there. But that is a good lap, as Culpy's just popped in with a 40.8 as well. Just split Sociopath and Tom Taylor.
As Clay's just coming through the last couple of corners.
I was just going to say exactly the same thing, because I just jumped on board with him myself. And this doesn't look massively fast.
It's a 41.4. As Aiden's invalidated.
Turn it around 36, 37, a minute 36, 37 seconds.
Was our job of sets of 40.7?
Yeah, it's only about half a tenth faster than Sociopath. There's really not a lot splitting these guys, because they're Sociopath and Culpy are only about another half a tenth, and then there's like a quarter of a tenth to Tom Taylor. But half a tenth then to May Spin. Like, there's just nothing separating these guys. I mean, the entire field is covered by less than a second. 40.7 to a 41.6. That's how close, well, all 13 drivers that have set a time are. So, as
Matey Boy's lost it, coming out of the Le Mans chicane.
Alright, so I'm on board with Rhinosaurus, who is on his out lap, who is one of the few who hasn't set a lap yet. Well, one of the two who hasn't, but Aiden's just gone back in the pits, so I'm going to stay on with Rhinosaurus and see how his lap goes. And I'll just quickly check the comments again. Nothing.
Sociopath has taken the fastest lap so far with a 40.4.
He's just found another 3/10 on everybody else. And completely blown away my theory that everybody's covered by a second. Thanks, Sociopath.
As Mayspin's invalidated, so I'll pop on with Aljobo, who's just about across.
Where I just saw somebody flash on a set of mediums and then change it back to limpers again.
As Rhinosaurus is now on a lap, so I'm just going to go on with him for a lap of France.
I'm on board with him already. And that's a pretty good line through 1 and 2 there. It's very, very easy to lose it at turn 2. As we saw Warrior Huntsman do not too long ago. See, this little section here is tighter than it looks. And it's very, very easy to have your tail step out coming out of here. It's just on the start of sector 2. Unfortunately, there's no DRS because of the rain. Otherwise, you'd be going down here a fair bit faster than you are. Topping about 190 at the minute. Normally a bit higher than that. Doesn't take as much curb as I thought it would on the entrance there. Most people cut a lot more curbs there.
Well, in the wet, you will be risking a little bit more.
You would be, yeah. 56.9, almost a 57 flat there for sector 2. Not quite flat through turn 10, but again, because of the rain, you really don't want to risk going fully flat through there. In the dry, you can go flat through there all day long. Ooh, that was very, very close to wide on the exit of 11. I thought he was going to invalidate. Somehow he just about kept his front wheels on track. And 2 turns to go, so he's just coming through the penultimate turn now. And should get quite tight here through the last turn.
Takes a lot of curb.
Takes a lot of curb. That's exactly what you want to do through there. You want to take a lot of curb and keep it nice and tight. And
that's a 42 flat.
I was expecting a little bit more. I won't lie. I thought it was going to be a better lap than that. It looked really,
I'm
really
now
nice
on board
and tidy.
with Sky.
Well, I've just jumped on board with Aiden, who's, well, I was going to say just started a lap, but he was weaving around a little bit on the straight and invalidated this and the next lap. I don't even know how he accomplished that. I can't explain that one. So who else is on the lap then? El Jobo is massively down on his time and weaving around on an invalidated lap, so he won't be. Tom Taylor is just about to finish a lap with a Mercedes behind him, which will be Cammy because we've already lost Sky, as he does improve by 2 tenths to a 40.590 and completely cuts out 1 and 2, so he's obviously on an in-lap now. Cammy does improve as well by a 10th. So,
Sky's just come through the penultimate corner.
I'm just going to stick on with Cameron, because Cameron appears to be on the lap at the minute. He's only just started, he's just come to the end of sector 1. He had made a slight improvement, I think, on his last lap.
And it's a 41-2.
Faster. Yeah, Cameron Poult has just gone purple first sector, and is 2 tenths faster than his previous time, which is going to put him just on his sector 1 time alone around P4. So if he can improve even more throughout the rest of the lap, oh, that was close to invalidating on both of those curbs through the chicane there. And he's lost a little bit of time through sector 2. Not a lot, just a little. He's only just shy of 2 tenths up now. There is a yellow flag in sector 3 as well. That must be a slow moving car through.
Yeah, that is Tom Taylor, who is now in the pits.
Ah, right, that'll explain that. So he's just coming through 12 now.
I'll just go on with Aiden, who is just coming up to turn.
He was invalidated last time I checked him. Oh,
yeah,
he just
no.
started another lap.
Yeah.
That's a lot of curb. That seems to have sent him just slightly wide as well, almost invalidated. That will have cost him a little bit of time there. I don't think he's going to improve now. If he does, it'll be marginal. Oh, wow. He must have had a lot of time there in sector 3 compared to his original time, because he found a full half a second, even after getting a pretty bad exit off of the last turn as well. And goes up to P2 with a 40.482, which is less than a tenth now off the fastest time.
As Aiden sets a 56.157 in the second sector.
I think he might be getting a bit of toe off that car in front of him, which I think might be Sochi about, or Jack Slater. It is Jack Slater, I've just jumped on board with him. Maybe he was getting a little toe there, because that was a good time. So,
might have lost a little bit after dropping down to second, though.
Maybe just overdid the gear shift.
He goes into first gear for the last corner.
I don't think I would have. I think I'd have stayed in second there, but driver's choice.
That's a 41-1. 41-4.
41-4, yeah.
As Matey Boy just comes up to the... As Matey Boy loses it.
Well. And he's lost it right in the middle of sector 1 and 2, so it yellows both sectors. Brilliant. So Clay is just coming around turn 12, and he had a couple of tenths on his time, so that could move him up to about P9 or 10, so he's going to need a little bit more.
As Ronan comes through the Le Mans chicane very slowly.
And improves by less than a tenth, but it is just enough for P10 from Clay with a 41.341. It's less than half a tenth faster than Rhinoceros, who is currently up on his own time in sector 2 by half a second, so that's not going to last very long. Clay may have to still go for another lap, but he won't be because he's invalidated as well, so if Rhinoceros can hold that time he found, we could be looking at about P5 or 6 around about Sky and Coolpy.
As Ronan comes up to the line with a 40.7.
There you go, P5, and that has just knocked Clay out then, so Clay is going to be out of the session because he's already on an invalidated lap. Warrior Huntsman's out, he's in the pits. Aiden Gray is now in the pits and he is out as well. Jack Slater is out as well, unless he can improve, which he won't because he's on an invalidated lap, I've just noticed. And Matey Boy's in the pits. So we will be losing both Ferrari drivers in P11 and 12, Clay and Warrior. We'll be losing Aiden in 13th, Jack Slater in 14th, and Matey Boy in 15th. So that is Q2 done. We're just waiting for people to get back in the garage.
I'm waiting to see as Cameron Poulter goes with a 40.3.
As Cameron pulls a past this lap out of absolutely nowhere. I mean, it's nice to see the guys are still going for it, but truth be told, none of these guys really need to be going for it, as Tom Taylor absolutely loses it through turn 11.
As Sky crosses the line with a 40.7. Ronan's invalidated. Colby.
Yep, Ronan's invalidated. Colby is on a lap, but he doesn't need to improve. It's really not that important at this point. So let's see what he can do.
As Colby comes across the line with a 40.7 as well.
40.7. Both Alpha Tauris have improved their times since Rhinoceros.
As Aiden says, as you can tell, I don't like rain.
I'm gonna go with neither do we.
Yeah, no.
You'll be glad you moved up to tier 2 because you got to miss the rain at Kota. Like, you really did not want to be in that race. It was a disaster from the drop of the lights. I mean, come on. We had a safety car by turn 1. That's how bad it started.
And that's when my race went.
To be fair, yours went downhill on the formation lap when you started ramming Gainful's car off the grid.
Oh, don't even. Don't
I
even.
have never seen that glitch before, but it was brilliant.
Don't even
It was well
start.
worth watching back. I've never ever seen anyone do that. It was brilliant to watch. So Cammy says, can I get my weekly insults before Q3, lads? I think I'm going to need it this week.
Cammy, as a Mercedes driver, I physically can't bring myself to it.
It's okay, I'll find a way somehow. So J-Doy says, so did T2 at Kota, a big pile off at turn 1. Yes, as weren't really a pile off as much as there was so much rain and so many people losing control of their cars that it just created sheer havoc. How we only lost one driver, which was Osso, was unbelievable. And Rhinoceros says, finally another Q3. So I take it he's not been having much luck with Q3. And there's yet more rain. So I think what Cammy needs to do is take an umbrella. That's what he needs. he gets out on track, I'll just give him some stick about the way he's driving. It's fine.
As Maceman is the first car out.
So J-Doy says Tier 3 is always entertaining. He's right, it is always entertaining. But that's because we're driving in it. Ain't that right, Dan?
Yeah. Yeah, I hate the rain. I'll be back now.
Okay. I'm just going to sit here and watch people on laps. Oh, pardon me. Well, I was waiting for Cammy to come out of the pit so I can give him some abuse, but he ain't come out yet, so I best see who's on and out while I'm waiting for Dan to come back. So, of course everyone's still on enters, but let's see who is out. He did tell me he was out first and I weren't listening to him. So, we'll have a look. And it looks to be Macepin. So, I'll jump on with Macepin for his lap. Very, very wet lap, but luckily not enough wet for full wets. I really hate full wets. So Cammy says engineer says rain for about 10 more minutes and maybe one dry run, but I don't think so. We'll see. J-Doy, I'm just gonna sit here and watch people on laps. Best commentating. Yeah, well, what else am I supposed to do? You guys are putting in your qualifying times. I'm here, you know, just letting you guys all know how it's going. Getting very excited about it, of course. Oh, that's not gone well. That's Macepin out. He's just lost it at the beginning of Sector 2, so Macepin will be starting P10. That is unfortunate. So, Schnitz is also off track in the same place. But that's not good. So, who else have we actually got out on a lap? Because it's not looking good there at the beginning of Sector 2. So Cammy's on an out lap, so he's not going to be relevant to who's on the next lap. I think the next car through, or the first car through, will now be Sociopath. So I'll stay on board with Sociopath. You see, it's comments like that as well, J-Doy, that make people actually like it when I commentate. And I must be doing a pretty good job because I've now got 2 commentating I do here and 2 other places I commentate for as well, so I'm not doing terribly bad. As Sociopath puts in a 40.7 and then Tom Taylor instantly beats his time with a 40.4. And let's see who's going to be next.
Back, and Colby crosses the line.
Flat. Colby goes 40.5. Rhinosaurus goes 40.8.
As Cammy sets a pit for Sector 1.
Yeah, it won't last long because it's Cammy. Can't expect too much of him. If you look in the comments, I amuse J-Doy, by the way. Yeah, well, yeah, of course we are. You know, we do the best we can do, and everyone seems to enjoy it. So we must be doing well. You know, we're back here every week. I'm just going to sit on board with Cammy and...
Yeah, that's what I'm doing at the minute.
Sorry, did I say screw up his lap? I meant completely screw up his lap. And the best part is I know he's listening to me. So I'm guessing some of these guys will be making last-minute adjustments on the grid as well, because obviously if the track's going to be dry, because Cammy did say apparently it's going to dry up in about 10 minutes, so we may get one quick dry run, but it's unlikely.
Well, it seems to be brightening up a little bit.
Dry? Yeah, but it's whether it gets dry enough. I mean, the rain's still coming down, so
yeah,
we may get one very quick run if to take a risk while it's still wet on an outlet, possibly.
As the only driver
in a few minutes' time.
As the only drivers in the pits currently are Tom Taylor, Colby, and Cameron Poulter. Cameron Poulter yet to set a lap with 5 minutes to go.
Mayspin lost it just on the start of sector 2. I think it's turn 5 and 6. I think it was exit 6. And then Snitsy was also off track in the same place, but he hadn't completely killed his car. So you did miss a little excitement while you weren't here. As Cammy's managed to find about 3 1/4 tenths by the end of sector 2.
I'm on without Jobbo and I haven't got my telemetry or lap data up.
I'm just waiting to see if you
can throw away
Jobbo. If he can keep
invalidate,
he will move up 1 place. He'll move ahead of Rhinoceros. But if he can improve even more by even just another tenth, he could take 3rd or 4th. Oh, that's a wide line. Nope, he backed out. He went in the pits. That was unfortunate.
Sky's coming through turn 11.
Let's see how Schnitzy's doing. I don't know what his sector 2 time was because the game didn't bother to tell me. And he's also gone wide and decided to go in the pits. Why is it every time I jump on with someone, they're going in the pits? Did you say you were on with Sky anyway? So
yeah.
Ooh, that was a bit of lag. Got a bit of a sideways movement on
there. Sky crosses the line with a 140.7.
Which is... well, that's quite the line.
Who is going to be the next driver on a lap?
Rhinoceros has only just come out of the pits.
I guess it'll be Tom Taylor.
Going through the chicane, so yes, it'll be Tom Taylor who's just coming through turn 11. So
has got a couple more comments coming up. Aiden says 4 minutes to eat dinner.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, until Tom Taylor's on his lap, there's not a lot we can actually say. Did you hear my comment that amused J-Doy, by the way?
No.
I said, while you were away, I'm just going to sit here and watch these guys do the laps. Apparently that was the best commentating line ever.
As Tom Taylor comes through turn 2.
Stupid cough. I wish it'd go away. I've had it since November. Almost, well, just over 3 1/2 tenths. I was going to say almost 4, but it's not quite. It's just over 3 1/2 tenths and goes purple first sector. Which isn't surprising considering he's actually got the fastest lap, so. That is a very good time for a sector 1. Takes a lot of the curb. His car bounced quite a bit there. Looks like to have had a good exit though. And he's still 3 tenths up, but he lost a fraction of time, about half a tenth he lost through sector 2. That may have been that big bump over the curb on the entrance to the chicane, cost him that. So
as we go around turn 11, 10.
11.
Right, cheers.
12. I only know because turn 10's the fast one that Alpha Tower is just coming around behind turn 12.
Yeah.
I know that because somebody tried to shove me off track there last time I was here.
As we go round the last corner.
I can't even remember who it was. And he's on for a 40.1. That's the fastest time we've seen on Inters. I tell you what, people love taking that escape road, don't they? They go Sky as well.
As Colby just about to cross the line, so they thought it was Sky.
Yeah,
and it's a 40.6. As Calmy has just started his lap.
So with a minute to go then, Sochi about to start another time here, because he's only got about half a tenth over Kulpi at the minute. So if Kulpi can find a little bit of time, he could take P2 away from Sociopath. He doesn't look like anyone can challenge Tom Taylor at the minute. He's clearly very fast.
It's coming almost 3/10 up with the Alpha Tauri of Sky right behind him.
Sociopath has improved by 9 thousandths through Sector 1. That's not going to be enough, but it might just be enough to secure his place in P2 there. Start on the front row. That was a lot better. Cameron Poulter.
39.8.
So this track must be getting faster. It has to be, because these times are just getting faster and faster and faster. As the rain seems to be almost stopping now. We're not obviously going to have time for dries, but this is anyone's game at the minute for anyone who's on a lap. Sociopath, I know, is out of Sector 2 was slower than his previous best, so he's now starting from P3 unless he can find something in Sector 3, and I think El Jobbo's
Sky's invalidated, so that is him over and done. Sociopath in P3.
That is P3 still, and El Jobbo's finishing now as well. He is P5, and Rhinosaurus is invalidated. So that is the top 10. So we've got Cameron Poulter on pole. Tom Taylor joins him on the front row. Sociopath and Kulfi on the second row. El Jobbo and Cami on the third row. Sky and Rhinosaurus on the fourth row. And Snippy Mayspin to round out the top 10 on row 5. And Aidan wants to have finished eating his dinner by now. Hopefully people just take it a little bit more easy tonight into turn 1, because this is very, very easy to have a massive crash at turn 1 on this track. Because of all the rain that we've had, everybody gets free choice of tyres.
Exactly.
So nobody goes into it with Part 1 qualifying tyres. So that could have an effect on how people's strategies work out for the race. Because normally you'd be going in with a Part 1 set of softs or mediums. Normally softs, to be fair, because even those that come out on mediums normally end up out on softs anyway. So may just add an extra couple of laps and be able to stretch out the life of the tyres a little bit more. So this track is a tyre eater, so I would hazard a guess we'll be looking at a 2-stop for most drivers tonight.
Most probably.
As I say, I know this track's a complete tyre eater. Like, it will just eat through your tyres in no time. So I'm banking on people either risking the hard tyres and trying to go as deep as they possibly can into the race, or opting for a 2-stop, maybe soft, medium, soft, or something like that.
Yeah.
Even maybe even soft, medium, medium if they think they've got heavy tyre wear. we shall see as people
Gently pull up my mic.
get started. We've got a few seconds to go and we'll be doing a formation lap. Oh, sorry, I'm a bit of a yawn there.
As we get going, as Cameron...
hard 12-15 for a one-stop, or medium, soft, medium, and I didn't see what lap because it's stupid.
Cameron starts on the hard tyre.
I did say the possibility people might want to start on the hard tyre. I didn't expect anyone at the front of the grid to want to do it, but he is one of two drivers that are starting on the hard, the other being Armand down in P17. And as Nikki says, good luck everyone. She'll just be disappointed because Sosso's not on track, so she's trying to be nice because Clay is. That's what that is. You're very quiet, Daniel.
Yeah, sorry, I zoned out for a sec.
It's alright, I thought you pulled your microphone out again like a tool.
No, I just zoned out for a sec.
It's okay, we're on an out lap, we're
formation lap.
So we kind of drift off for a minute here and
yeah,
wait for everyone to kind of warm themselves up ready for the race. Not really a lot we can talk about at the minute. It gets a little
little bit quiet.
I think is the word. But should be good anyway. This.
It should be, yeah.
Main boy in games will disqualified. So there's always somebody who wants to improve the action for us by getting disqualified.
All is great when that happens.
As always. Well, I'll be back in a second. I'm going to let you start the race and I'll go get another beer.
Not a problem. As everybody's lining up on the grid ready to go. And I'm just going to drop to Colby so I can see the start from the first 4 grid boxes, as it's a medium hard 12 to 14, medium soft medium lap 10, 16, 18. As we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights, and we're away for the 3rd race at France for CDR. A little bit messy by everyone going into the first corner. And we've got Clay right at the very back, not making it out of turn 1 by the looks. As Macebin loses the position to Warrior Huntsman, who is now going to try and come back at him. That's very close from Macebin and Schnitzy. Schnitzy almost taking the rear of Macebin. As J-Doy's on the back of Schnitzy now, and as again, medium hard 12 to 15, medium soft medium lap 10 to 16, 19, and Gainful has retired, and there is a VSC going out of turn 8 onto the straight in sector 2. Cam Poulter picking up a 1 second gap on the race start. As it's now turned to a full safety car, and I'm not going to read out the predicted stop strategy again, because this will be the third time. And Aiden and Biggle are into the pits. Nice of you to join us, Colin.
I can see we haven't started very well.
No, we got to the end of lap 1.
Wasn't Gameful and Almond the two that crashed into each other during the formation lap and got disqualified?
I'm not too sure.
I think it was. No, it weren't. It was Gameful and Matey Boy. It was one of the two Haas drivers, anyway. I was just thinking to myself, it was really ironic if those two both crashed out together after having a collision on the formation lap. Oh, this is going to be boring if people are going to be bringing out the safety car. There's so much fun in France. Such a fun track. I say that now and I'll have a disaster come Sunday. That'll be my luck. And we are having another lap. I would have thought it would have come in because the pack's all bunched up, but apparently not. See, it's times like this where we don't have much to talk about either and we get a bit bored. That was green lights on the back of the car. I don't know what that was about. I was just riding on board with Cameron and the safety car for some reason flicked up with a green flashing on it where its number plate would be. I thought it was because it was braking or something, but I don't know why it did it.
Probably just the light, like the lighting in a corner.
Possibly, 'cause I mean it's been flashing orange the whole time, but it suddenly just lit up like a bright green for a second and then went back to orange again. I don't know. I would say I'm drunk and seeing things, but I'm definitely not because I've only had one beer. It's definitely not drunk and seeing things. Really quite strange. Oh well. Maybe I'm just blind and seeing things, that's the other option. Safety car in this lap, so now Cameron Porter won't have any access to his throttle barely.
No. I'm just gonna go.
New feature of the game.
As he's backing up the grid nice and early.
No, he's not. The game's just not letting him use his throttle. This isn't him. This is the game.
He's just gone full throttle.
Yeah, he's trying to, but I've seen it flickering up and down where it's not managing like faster than he could do with his finger. It's the game's throttling. Every so often it lets him have a bit more if he's got his foot down, but there we go. Now it looks like he's got a bit more control. So you notice it starts to create a gap between a few of the cars behind him, because nobody expected it coming. It's really bad.
As we go through the last corner.
He should get a nice jump here. No,
and we're away.
None of that, and he is right up his backside. But we are still under yellow flag conditions.
And now we're going to go side by side. Oh, that is close.
That was good defending from Cameron though, on the slower tyre. Tom Taylor just had a little look there for turn 3.
And Sociopath not very far behind.
No, Sociopath's chewing at his gearbox. I'm looking back from Cameron Poulter's car and I'm watching this as it's unfolding on those two as well. I think Sociopath went a bit wide there. I think Tom Taylor went wide and Sociopath followed him.
A Sociopath now in Tom Taylor. Someone Schnitzy's gone.
Lost Schnitzy. Please, 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 no more safety cars yet.
No, it's too early for another safety car.
No, it's not. Look at Sunday. Virtual safety car. There we go.
Ah. Okay.
It just annoying because it just kills the action. Like, these guys could have been attacking each other through the corners, and whoever's got the higher downforce could be looking at making a move or something. But no, nobody can make a move because it's the VSC crash car. It just ruins our ability to commentate when there's godforsaken safety calls on VSC's happen.
Yeah.
It's just frustrating.
Oh, it is. As Mayspin's in the pit.
Mayspin has pitted. I was about to say Mayspin's moving around a lot. It's because he was entering pit. And we are racing again. That ended very quickly. Oh, a little bit of a wobble there from Sociopath. He got too much curb through turn 2.
I'm on board with El Jobbo at the minute as we come through turn.
El Jobbo's catching him up. As
Tom Taylor's taking the lead.
On Cameron as well, yeah. I looked back at El Jobbo and it happened as I looked back, so he must have made that move into turns 3 and 4.
As my controller's now having a fit.
Yeah, they definitely don't want to do that.
No.
Oh, this is getting really, really close now because Sociopath's right on the back of Cameron and El Jobbo is literally got his nose in the gearbox of the Williams of Sociopath. So this is very, very close between these four. There is creating a bit of a gap back to Coulthie. Not quite a second, but a little bit of a gap going on there. See how each of them take this. See, turn 11 you can take in several different ways. And if you watched all of them, they all took different, slightly different lines that came out of it around the same place as the, you know, no real gap difference. As we get our first penalty of the night, Big Lou manages to get himself a 3-second penalty for exceeding track limits. And Sociopath is banking that ERS. He's got almost none left trying to stay with these guys. Tom Taylor has still got 78%. So he's managing his ERS very well, as DRS is now enabled as well. Cameron Poulter's on around 50%. So, as well as Sociopath's doing here, I think he needs to conserve some of that ERS back again. Because everybody around him has more. As he gets DRS and goes for a move. Is he going to go for a double move? I think he is. He's just done Tom Taylor. Oh, he thought about a move there on Cameron Poulter as well. That was what you would call a sandwich move from Cameron and Sociopath as they took Tom Taylor, and now El Jobbo's trying to move up the inside of Tom Taylor and made the pass, and I think he thought about a go at Sociopath as well.
Oh, what a shot of turn 11 or 10.
10's the fast one, 11's the one you brake for. I said that. Make your mind up which one it is you're talking about.
I guess it's turn 10.
Deal. No, it was 11.
Right.
I've just looked back at the stream and seen what you meant.
Yeah.
So, is Sociopath going to try a run now into turn 1? He's getting close.
Only on 3% ERS!
He's got almost no ERS. He's absolutely abusing his ERS the whole race. Oh! I did not expect that coming back from Cameron Poulter around the outside of turn 2. And he's braked later into turn 3, so he's retained that position. after that little multi-way battle there. But that does mean now that because Sociopath is behind, he's going to get a good run at him through into the chicane if he gets a good drive out of the...
As Colby now overtakes Ronan. What happened to Colby's?
And Sociopath has made the move again, and El Jobbo's just come around the other side as well. El Jobbo's just jumped both of them into the lead.
As Cameron's now off track. Is Sociopath gonna have...
El Jobbo is on the soft tyres, so he is faster, but his tyres are going to die soon because, as we said before, this track eats tyres. He may have only put 6 laps on them, and quite a few of them on the safety car, but I don't think he'll be getting a whole lot more out of those tyres yet. I think maybe 10 before we start seeing the soft runners coming in. As we've got a yellow flag now in sector 3. I don't know what's happening there, but it's somewhere behind us.
As we've only got 3 soft runners. So Colby's in the pits.
Yeah. And so's Rhinosaurus now as well, who is one of our soft runners. Maze Spin is one of the soft runners. He's only been on them for 2 laps. And El Jobbo is the other one. You see, because Cameron is now sitting in the slipstream and the DRS of El Jobbo, it means Sociopath can't attack because he's got DRS, but it's no good to him when the guy ahead of him has got DRS as well. So this is just creating a bit of a 3-way battle that there's no real movement on now. But it was a great move from El Jobbo to get himself into a position of taking both positions.
Comes out on track in 16th place. And Cameron's going to try going down the outside of El Jobbo. Sorry.
Those hard tyres could go to the end now, I think. 20 laps on them. Doable. I mean, this is a tyre chewer, but those things are very, very hard wearing. They're usually very, very slow as well, but very hard wearing. Ooh, it looked like Sociopath was considering a move then. Let's see what's happening elsewhere in the field, because I've been very distracted by the Sociopath battle with
Cammy in 12th, not too far away from Jack Slater. Neither is
on the back of J-Doy.
Biggle on the back of Clay.
Yeah, Big Lou's having a look at the back of Clay there. Rhinosaurus is having a look at the back of Coulter as well. But still, the closest battle on track is
Cameron and El Jobbo.
The whole top 4, they're all within 3 or 4 tenths of each other.
So I'm just gonna...
5 now. Cameron's just dropped a little bit of ground there to El Jobbo because of being on the slower tyre, but they are literally almost nose to tail, these 4 now. Crazy how close they all are. I'm just sitting on the back of it with Tom Taylor just watching this battle unfold. It's such a good battle, you just kind of can't take your eyes off it and look what else is happening on track.
Yeah, Tom Taylor, 2 tenths.
Kind of spaced out. If you look then at the middle of the hairpin, there was about 3 tenths between all of those cars. And now there's only 2.5 to 4.5 between all of them.
Cameron Poulter might be looking for a move on El Jobbo down the inside.
Yeah,
just a little bit too far back.
Which means those soft tyres might be just starting to die now. If he's managing, it's either that or El Jobbo made a slight mistake that allowed...
El Jobbo's on mediums.
On my screen it says softs.
Oh wait, no, it was just a light in his... Cameron Poulter goes down the inside, forces El Jobbo off of track.
Ooh, that
now he's going to go down the inside again.
And Sociopath's on the other side. It's going to be a 2-way battle into that, as I think Cameron's come out of it on top.
Yeah.
Yep, and now Sociopath's going to be sitting on the back, and he is collecting the RS because...
J-Doy on the back of Warrior Huntsman.
And that's happened. As Huntsman's not giving it up though, is he?
That's a little bit too close to comfort.
Oh, that's very close. I thought that was going to be...
that was a bit too close to comfort for my liking. Oh, he
There
did
was
not
just a
like
little
that.
bit of contact.
Oh, Gino's lost it!
He's out. Oh, that's unfortunate.
That is
really
gonna
good
be a
battle
safety
happening.
car.
Yeah, that is a full safety car. This will be the point where our soft runners will come in. I'll be very, very surprised if they don't. So El Jobbo will likely come in at this point. May spin might, but I doubt it. Because he's only put 5 laps on those, so he may want to go a little bit longer on them. But then he may just switch to hards and go to the end, like Corby's already done, so... I mean, depending how hard you push your tyres, if you haven't had mediums, you probably sling a set of mediums on and go to the end if you look after your tyres.
That's the thing.
Maybe.
You do not know what the track's gonna do to your tyres.
No. I mean, it does chew them pretty well, as Sociopath was actually in the lead. We didn't notice it happened. And he has pitted. And so has El Jobo, and so has Warrior Huntsman.
Cameron's now out in the lead.
Taylor. I'm not surprised those two have stayed out though. More Cameron because of being on the hards. Sky has also stayed out. As that is Sociopath going on to the hard tyres. He's going to go to the end now on those. So he has done the one-stop medium hard strategy.
Sky's now in P3 after everyone behind him pitting.
That's the thing. Jack Slater, Sky, Tom Taylor are all going to be coming in the next handful of laps.
Yeah.
They're going to have to. I mean, if they could push those tyres to about 17 laps, and they're a little more gentle on the softs than they'll want to be because they're on softs, they may get one-stop medium soft strategy out of it.
Possibly.
But that's only due to the fact that the safety car's been out once and is now out for a second time, and that doesn't really chew your tyres up very much.
No.
In comparison to thrashing it around the track racing each other. So it's actually saving them laps on the tyres. That are potentially, because of the two safety cars, could go to, I would guess, 16, 17 maybe.
Somewhere around there, possibly.
I mean, if they could push them another couple of laps and go, you know, sort of 19 or 20 laps, then they'd do it easily for onto the softs, and then you could just abuse them all the way, you know. You could really race hard on them. But I'm curious to see what lap Cameron will come in on, because he started on those hards, remember. And I wonder how this is going to pan out between Jack Slater and Sociopath as well, because they're teammates. I'm thinking Jack Slater may actually allow Sociopath to pass, just because he's on fresh tyres. And really, he isn't Jack Slater's, you know, it's not the battle that he would be in, because he's still got to take a pit stop. So there's no point in holding his teammate up when he knows he's got to take a pit stop, and his teammate probably won't now.
Safety car will be in this lap.
Yeah, everyone's all bunched up. If he doesn't come in, something's wrong. I mean, everyone ahead of Sociopath now has to take a pit stop, unless a safety car comes out again. Then realistically, that gap that was there between Cameron and Sociopath, the very slight gap of a few tenths, is going to be massively extended. Because what Cameron would want is probably around 20 or 22, something like that. He'll want a safety car so he can come off the hard tyres and onto the softs. If he doesn't get that, he's effectively taking a full-length pit stop instead of a shortened pit stop. An overall position will be lost. See, because they've all put 11 laps on as well, that means none of them had any incidents or anything like that, the top 4. Which means on the face of it all, currently, Sociopath is leading this race, with El Jobbo second and Huntsman third.
And there we go, safety car in this lap.
Well annoyed at himself. Yep. Yeah, J-Doy says he's well annoyed at himself. It's really unfortunate, actually. You was having a really good battle there with Huntsman as well. There was a couple of times there was very, very slight contact. But it was just unfortunate you just lost the tail coming out onto the DRS straight. It's so easy to do. I've done it myself, you know. Just a little bit too much right foot. Or finger. Depends whether you're on a remote or not. I can never remember who is and who isn't, so... Say both, you can't get it wrong, can you?
Nah, not at all.
Armand says, it's been an awful day. Got knocked out in Q1 and got taken out in the first lap.
Ooh.
It happens to the best of us. Actually, to be fair, it hasn't happened to me this season. Wow, that is a big gap between Sky and Jack Slater.
Oh, wow.
Those top three got a huge jump on Jack Slater there. I don't know how that happened. I was on board with Sociopath, but I was drinking beer and not paying attention again. As El Jobbo makes a move on Sociopath down into turn 3. And almost plants it in the back of Jack Slater as well. I think it may have been in a bit of slipstream there. It tucked in between the two Williams and didn't seem like it could slow down very well. As I think Jack Slater's trying to defend this. He is, he's trying to defend it. But El Jobbo's just faster. Ooh, I think that was close. Oh, don't hold up. Oh, as if he did that. Sociopath just lost out to Huntsman because there was almost contact between the two Williams cars. Stupid cat, get off my TV! I can't see my TV with you there, can I?
Oh!
Sorry, my cat's just jumped.
Warrior Huntsman and Sociopath on the inside of Jack Slater.
Yeah, unfortunately I didn't see that because my cat jumped on my TV stand and I had to watch
Oh, and
it
Aiden
away.
Gray is now fighting Jack Slater. Gonna go round the outside of the penultimate corner. Which
Jack
means
Slater
down
didn't
the
pick any of that.
inside goes down Aiden. Very close off of Scotty.
Whoa, you completely missed that. Matey Boy comes storming through and launched Jack Slater sideways, forced him off track. Hence why Scotty's just gone through on him as well.
Oh!
As Aiden made his way through, I thought that Jack Slater might go for a switchback. But as he went to try and make the switchback...
Has Jack Slater got damage? No, he has not.
I'm going to say, I don't know. No, he doesn't look like he's got any front wing damage. But he just seems to be losing a lot of places. I don't know whether his tyres are going off.
They could be.
He's just allowing people to pass him at this point. I mean, he's got to take a pit stop, but he's just losing ground on everyone.
So he must have some type of damage or something.
Yeah, I mean, he's just dropped from 4th to 12th in less than a lap. So there's definitely something going on there.
Yeah, because if you look at...
He's about to lose to P13 as well. He's just lost out to Big Lou as well.
Yeah, Cammy's gaining on him.
Yeah, when there's no physical damage that we can see, but...
Yeah,
I know
Jackson's got some sort of damage.
Yeah, it could be side pod or something like that that's obviously not physical that we can see, so... But it wouldn't surprise me with how hard Matey Boy came in if he didn't have side pod damage, to be honest.
DRS has been enabled.
DRS is...
And
yes,
Jack Slater's carrying on, he's not in the pits.
The thing is, if the damage he's got is side pod damage from the collision with Matey Boy not long ago, then it's not going to be anything that can be dealt with there anyway. So, you know, there's no point pitting if you can't do anything about it. And he has lost out to Cammy, and he seems to be losing ground to Rhinosaurus as well. So the battle now is down to just 2, which is Tom Taylor and Cameron Poulter, who both have to pit So effectively, El Jobbo is now in the lead of this race. Once these guys are ahead of him a bit.
Cameron Porter coming on the back of Tom.
Oh, pardon me. Yeah. Oh, we've
something's happened.
That is
Clay. And he's reset to track.
No, he didn't do that. It's because he tried to cut from turn 10 to turn 12 to gain him back. I've tried that myself. You know, when I'm on an invalidated lap, I tried to sneak across, miss 11 out completely, because there's a huge gap. If you look between 10 and 12,
El Jobbo has taken Sky.
So Mesa Boy's passed Aiden as well there, and Cammy's just passed Bigelow as well. But I'm still sitting on this this battle with the leaders. Oh, I think Cameron was going to try a little dive there into turn 5. Jack Slater fixes a 3-second time penalty, and Clay is in the pits. As you have got a wicked helicopter view there of this battle at the front. As Mayspin's just DNF, so we have a yellow flag sector 2, but it doesn't look like we've got a safety car or anything just yet.
Mayspin's out.
Right. He's dropped it in basically the same place as J-Doy did.
Yeah.
I did say Mayspin's just DNF as well, but we only have a yellow flag. We don't have any safety car or VSC as yet.
As J-Doy posts a question for comms, do the points that reserves get count towards the original teams? Right, I can answer this.
Good, saves me a job, I'll just drink beer.
What is going on with my game?
Do you need me to answer the question, or are you just going to deal with the question?
No. So the reserves get put into pots, like the drivers do when the driver draw is done.
That being
the pot
driver, slow driver of said field.
Well, pot 1, 2, 3 and 4. All the reserves get put into 1, 2, 3 and 4. If the driver who is reserve is in the same pot as pot 1, 2, 3 and 4, so I can't remember the pots, so say if Tom Taylor was say in the same pot as Kieran, Tom Taylor would get half points for Kieran for the constructor, if that makes any sense.
But if it's something like, if the driver is classified as the slower driver of the team or whatever, and you end up with a faster driver taking their position for as a reserve, they don't score points or something, do they? It's all in the rules. It's a little confusing sometimes. I'm not 100% sure how it all works myself, because, well, it doesn't matter to me much because I don't reserve, so. Yeah, he got it. That's all good. Glad he understands.
No worries. As Cameron Porter's now in the pits on lap 17.
All he really needs to know is there's a good chance that a reserve driver will score half points.
And that is El Jobbo into the lead.
Which I did say about 3 laps ago, that effectively El Jobbo's leading the race.
Yeah.
Everybody ahead had to pit. There was no question about it. It had to be done so.
With a 2.7 second gap to Sociopath.
Yep, and he's on the faster tyres and will probably go to the end on them, I would think. So, whilst it seems to have gone a bit quiet on track, I mean, Sky's about to make a move on Jack Slater, but he's on faster, fresher tyres, so I'm not surprised. I'm going to have a quick look what's cracking in Tier 1.
Go for it.
See where people are.
As Clay's retired in the pits.
So, if you're interested, the Mercedes drivers are currently, they're on lap 19, we're on lap 18.
Yeah.
They're first and third.
Nice.
And Teddy Henke's crashed out.
Yeah.
As SXX.
Uh-huh.
Dan's 17th, so he's not having a good race.
No.
Who else have we got? I think we might have a reserve for the second Williams tonight, but the regular Williams driver is in P6, so that's nice.
Huh.
It's not a bad position.
No.
So, but there's still, 7 or 8 laps to go yet, so anything can happen.
Oh yeah. As Colby's now on the back of Scott. As Biggle overtakes Cammy, and Cammy's struggling on those hard tyres.
I don't like cold tyres. I struggle on them all the time.
Who has picked up the most positions at the moment? It would be Matey Boy. Well, no, Scott. Scotty 15,
yeah,
picking up 12.
Scott did crash out in Q1 as Cameron's just done a purple first sector. But he is on fresh soft tyres and has only got a handful of laps to go on them. As talking to Scott, because the commentator, he picks a 3-second warning. So,
and that is Colby past Scott. Quite cleanly.
That might have something to do with the reason that he picked up the penalty. Maybe he went wide or something and it cost him position. Ooh, what me.
And now Scott's on the back of Colby. But the closest battle is Cammy on Ronan for 9th position. As Cammy's now into the pits. So Scott is the closest person to any driver with 3/10 behind Colby. And is now past Colby.
The commentator sets past his lap with a 31.730. And yes, you can tell by the change in my voice, I've got a cigarette in my mouth.
As Ronan is on the back of Biggle by 3/10.
I'm still on board with Cameron.
Ah.
I wasn't paying attention to my screen, so... It's not Biggle, it's Bigelow. Just so you know. As Rhinosaurus picks up a 3-second time penalty, I watched him run wide at turn 12. As Matey Boy has stopped to take a fresh set of tyres, so that'll be theoretically another set of softs.
Yeah.
Would be a medium soft strategy that I talked about earlier on.
Yeah.
I did say something like medium soft, medium soft, something like that, you know. And it was a set of softs, so he will be dropping way down the order. He will come out in P11, because there's no way Cam is catching up with him 30 seconds back, so. Colby's having a good look at the back of Scott here. The question is, really, is those tyres that El Jobo's running, are they going to last and still be able to maintain pace in the way that the
Oh, I think Ronan's going to have a go down the outside. No, oh, a little bit of contact from Ronan on the Red Bull of Big Ol' Woo.
Whether those mediums are going to hold out for another 6 laps to the end of the race. I think they will, but the slightest slip in out control could cost El Jobo.
Oh, there is a 3-way battle for 7th. involving the Alpine of Ronan and the 2 Red Bulls of Cameron Poulter and Bigelow.
So something that wasn't taken into consideration here was the penalties.
Yeah.
All Sociopath needs to do is stay within 3 seconds currently and not pick up a penalty of his own, and he is, as it stands, effectively the leader of this race. Because he's only 2.6 seconds behind, and El Jobo has a 3-second penalty. So, currently, Sociopath is going to win this race. But he needs to stay within that gap. He's under no threat from Warrior Huntsman behind him, because Warrior Huntsman has 6 seconds of his own, and Aiden behind him has 3 seconds of his own as well, as for Scott. So nobody around Sociopath is going to have any effect on him besides that gap to El Jobo, which he just took 2/10 out of El Jobo through the chicane. He was at 2.7, he's now under 2.4. He just took about 3/10 out of El Jobo. If he can keep cutting out the gap like that, he'll be on his gearbox by the end of the race.
As Colby's now on the back of Scotty 15.
Saying that though, Warrior is not very far behind, and he will have DRS, but he has almost no ERS, and neither does Sociopath for that matter. So this could be Warrior's chance to have a run at Sociopath, but I think he's going to be too far back to have a run here, because this isn't the longest straight. You don't really have time to really build up and overtake someone. He's not managing to get slipstream, he's too far back. But he has closed the gap a little, so maybe he'll have a run into the chicane. I'm going to stay on board and just see what happens here. That Sociopath is actually down to 2.1 behind.
As Tom Taylor now picks up 3 seconds, and so does Cameron Poulter.
Yeah, as I said, Sociopath is still closing that gap to El Jobo as well. He's down to 2.2, 2.1 now. There's not a lot between them, but Warrior's still too far back to make a move. He's just hanging on within a second as Tom Taylor's just DNF.
Oh.
So is that going to bring out a safety car and change?
No, that's in the pits.
Ah, that's okay then, so that's fine. That's not going to close up the gaps and ruin anyone's race. Because late safety cars are terrible for ruining people's races. That gap's down to 2 seconds. He's slowly just chipping away at it. He's staying well within the 3-second window now.
I'm still following this battle between Colby and Scott.
I'm still following the one between Huntsman and Sociopath. Huntsman's getting very, very close. If Huntsman overtakes Sociopath, he could push him to too far behind El Jobo to win the race. He could effectively stop Sociopath winning this race, as it stands. He makes a pass, but so far he's not managed to make it happen. But he could just be sitting behind him at the fact that he knows he's got 6 seconds of penalties, so there's no point forcing a move. The gap's now down to 1.8.
As
So
Colby,
all those medium
no.
tyres going on. Is that what we're seeing here? Are we seeing the medium tyres start to lose traction and start to go off? That's down to 1.7 now. Oh, Huntsman runs a bit wide into the
Oh, Colby's getting an ultimate slipstream from Scott. Doesn't choose to attack Scott though. But
maybe he felt it was too risky.
But Scott does have 3 seconds.
So he doesn't need to force the move.
No.
If Scott's got 3 seconds, the next car ahead of Scott is over 6 seconds ahead, so he doesn't need to force a move. He can take P5 comfortably. that was wide from Warrior there. That'll have lost him a bit of ground. He ran wide on the exit of turn 2.
And there we go, Colby's now attacking Scott.
As Big Lou's just made a move on Rhinosaurus as well. So maybe his mediums are starting to go up as well. They're at 17 laps. The gap now is down to 1.5 between Sociopath and El Jobbo. So he is staying well within that window. As Huntsman has a look from half a second back, he has a look on the inside of Sociopath. He was never close enough to make the move, but he's thinking about it by the looks of it.
Yeah, Colby is slowly looking for a move on Scott.
I think Huntsman's going to try and make this move. It may come on the next straight. The Sociopath's got to be really careful, because if he loses out to Huntsman here, he could also lose out on the win as well, with only a couple of laps left.
So I'm just going to go on with this battle between Huntsman and Sociopath.
Yeah, I think if anything's going to happen, it may happen now going down this straight, because Huntsman is very, very close this time. This is the closest he's been for the last few laps. So if he's going to try and move, he's going to try it now, and it looks like he is. He's in the slipstream.
Down the inside goes Huntsman.
And they see this could cost Sociopath, who's now going to be 1.9 behind El Jobbo. He needs to hope that Huntsman can keep the pace up that he's had while he's been tailing him, and he doesn't hold him up. As Cameron picks up 5 seconds for corner cutting, that's not going to help his race at all. And Big Lou picks up a penalty as well for exceeding track limit.
A Sociopath's gonna come down the outside.
No, he's changed his mind on that. He'll probably have a go at the next DRS zone, exactly the same place as Huntsman had him, and try again there. He needs to retain some of that ERS that he's abusing again. He's got 2% left. So I'm not kidding when I'm saying he's abusing it. He needs to hang on to a bit for the DRS straight. As it stands, Sociopath's still going to win this race, but he needs to stay within touching distance. He's got about a second gap to where he needs to. He'll not win. So, as Huntsman has a little bit of a slip of the tail there. Don't think Sociopath's going to get close enough this time round. The gap's going to come down. About 1.7 now. Huntsman is actually still closing the gap on El Jobbo as well.
Yeah, 1.2 seconds now is the gap.
The only thing I know right now is that Sociopath is going to win, but because of all the other penalties around him, as it stands, I don't know who's actually going to finish second or third. Because there's 3 and 6 second penalties all over the place.
Yeah.
Aiden may sneak a podium. I think you might be looking at Sociopath, El Jobbo, and then Aiden as our top 3 as it stands. I think that will be our top 3, but then I don't know, saying that, if Kulpi will manage to sneak in, I don't think he will, because Scott being so far off the back of Aiden, so...
Talking of Scott and Colby, not very much splits them now.
Very, very tight, yeah. Did you want to jump on with the leaders though, because they're about to cross the line? They're just coming around turn 12 and 13, and this is the last lap.
As El Jobbo crosses the line, as Sociopath goes into P1.
Sociopath wins. As Kulpi has actually just made the move just before the start-finish line. I mean, he would have taken that place anyway, so...
As Sky and Scott Oh wait, no, Sky's finished at the exact same place that he started.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought they was the exact same time. I was waiting. Yeah.
I tell you what, calling driver of the day for this is going to be difficult.
Yeah, I think this is going to be one to talk about over the weekend.
I'm looking at it now in terms of positional move and stuff like that, and I'm inclined to say Huntsman. I was looking at Huntsman and Aiden. They both picked up 9 places each. But the only thing that's swaying me more towards Huntsman is that he's taken the podium.
As Aiden says, could maybe be my first driver of the day contention.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely.
As Scotty 15 picks up driver of the day from the game.
Yeah, I mean, I considered him as well, but based on the fact that Huntsman actually managed to pick up a podium, I was leaning towards Huntsman for this one. I mean, he did pick up the most places, but I think he finished like P6 or something, Scott. So, and as we all know, that the game only picks it based on who's picked up the most places. So,
but that is it. Sociopath picks up P1, followed by Aljoba, was it? Yeah. Sociopath takes P1, followed by Aljobo, Warrior Huntsman in 3rd, Aiden Gray in 4th, Colby in 5th, Scotty 1597 in 6th, Sky in 7th, Matey Boy in 8th, Cameron Porter in 9th, Bigglewoo takes 10th, Ronosaurus in 11th, Cammy in 12th, Jack Slater in 13th, Tom Taylor in 14th, Clay in 15th, Mayspin in 16th, 17th is Jadoy, 18th has Schnitzy, Gainful and Armen in 19th and 20th.
okay, so quick one for you. So Tom Taylor has the fastest lap with a 31.730, but he DNF'd, which means I don't think he'll get the points for that, will he?
I'm not too sure.
Because if not, then the fastest other lap on track is Cammy. Cammy is the fastest lap that finished with a 32 flat. So is Tom Taylor going to pick up 1 point for the fastest lap, even though he DNF? If not, it's Cammy to pick up the fastest lap point. But he finished.
I'll find out. We'll find out.
So that's an interesting one. We've never seen that happen.
But anyways, as always, I've been CDR Ninja, joined by Mechanical. We'll see you back out on track on Sunday.